Look, we turning conversation into application. This ain't for you if you can't handle deep communication. I see too many trying to teach when they need all the teaching. If you can't practice what you preach, then what's the point of speaking? Look, we thank the Lord for another season. Don't think they ready for you, Lee. I think them boys are sleeping. But we gon' hustle every hour like it's our last. Open up your mind, it's the converSAYtion podcast. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the converSAYtion podcast, where we turn conversation into application. I am your host, Leon Reed Jones, and today we have a very special guest in the building, Miss Zoriah. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm definitely glad to have you on. And before we get started with the questions for today, I always ask my guests, if someone had to describe Zoriah, what would they say?
I'd say passionate.
Okay.
Gets things done. A lover girl. And always willing to give her last to people she loves.
For sure. That's what's up. That's a good one. That'd probably be one of the best ones I've heard so far. So that's dope. That's dope. So my first question to you is, what would you title this chapter of your life right now? What would be the title for this chapter?
Probably upgraded.
Okay.
Definitely meeting a lot of new people recently. Getting me to a better position, like with my artwork, graphic designing. So I'm very blessed. I feel like I'm finding myself finally. Yeah. So upgraded.
I like that. That sounds like an album or a mixtape. I'll buy that for sure. But,
at first I was gonna say clickbait, because sometimes my life feels like it's not real. But no, definitely upgraded.
So I like that. You gave, it's a good one line. Clickbait. Why you feel like you feel your life not real sometimes?
I feel like, obviously, I know it's cliche to say, but you try and idolize your life on social media. So people don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. So you kind of put on a front. So I'd say, like, I wouldn't necessarily say I put on a front or lie to the internet, but definitely idolize my life a little bit more. I tell my family and friends, like, the real, but yeah, it's just like clickbait.
For sure. And you mentioned, art and graphic design. So what allowed you, or what drove you to be passionate about doing art and digital media?
So my freshman year of college, I had no job. But I've always really been into art. So with me having no job, I was like, I need to find a way to make money. Didn't want to work on campus at any of the jobs there. So I ended up painting a rolling tray, and then people were like, oh, this is dope. So I started making money out of that. And then more people started buying them. And then I kind of branched out of doing that, and then started editing YouTube videos, making flyers for people. And yeah, just meeting a lot of new people, getting new connections.
What school did you go to? And was that your major, or that was something that you picked up being at school and always having that passion for that?
So my major is psychology, so completely different. But I kind of just, like I said, I've always been passionate about art, like ever since I was little. Just didn't really know what I wanted to do with it exactly. So like I said, meeting new people, they got me opening my eyes to like new things, like graphic designing and editing and stuff like that.
Okay. And
I went to Ferris State. Sorry.
Shout out Ferris State. I didn't go there, but I always like to shout out people doing great things. But from having that passion and that love for art and using that expression in that way, what have been some inspirations for you, or who are some people that have been inspirations in that space of doing art, painting, drawing, and creating projects with digital media?
I wouldn't really say anybody, just myself, kind of just like freelancing and finding things, like, but not a particular person or a specific person I should say, kind of just myself and like how I feel. I did say something about how my major is psychology, and I've been trying to implement like mental health into my art pieces because I struggle with anxiety. So like making a painting on like how I'm feeling in that moment or something like that. So really based off myself.
Okay. So basically you said, I don't need no inspirations. I look in the mirror. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout
like
out.
when I first started painting like more consistently, I was kind of just doing like personalized things for people, what they wanted. And then now I'm moving towards like more stuff that I'm passionate about. Like I said, mental health, I'm really passionate about that. So I actually am in the works of a project right now that I'm struggling to find some people to help me with it. But yeah, definitely passionate about that.
Okay. And so you mentioned mental health, and then you also mentioned the combination of using your art to express that. So what does that process look like for you when you're creating, whether that be a project of digital media, you're painting something? Like, what is your personal process to help you create the best possible project?
Well, sometimes I'll do like sketches of how I'm feeling in that moment. Sometimes I may look into things or like if it's a specific like disorder or something, like I'll look into it more to see like how people feel in those moments and then base like the reactions or like how they're feeling off of the painting. But really just depends how I feel in the moment. Okay.
All right, cool. What would you say has been your best piece of art or your best project?
So it was my junior year. I took a sculpture class. This is when I had transferred. I transferred from Ferris to Oakland University. So we had a project where we had to make like a 3D box and what did I name it? Trip. So it's like a colorful box on the outside, and the top of it, it says Trip. And then you look inside of it, and it's like colorful, and it's a picture of me with like my eyes open. Basically, what it was is my first time smoking marijuana, like the bad trip that I had. So basically, when you look into it, it's like how I was feeling in the moment. So that's one of the projects that I'm like really passionate about, and what I want to do with like other people. But yeah, haven't got to that point yet. But that's probably the one I'm most passionate about.
Okay, cool. And so I want to kind of hit on the psychology piece a little bit. You said you struggle with anxiety, but why do you feel like personally, like, because everybody says, which they're not lying at all, but mental health is important. So why do you feel like, just based off your experiences, why do you feel like mental health is so important and key to you?
So mental health runs in my family. So I see the struggles that people go through. I see the good days. I see the bad days. So definitely asking people if they're okay. Definitely seeing a doctor or therapist. It's just important to me. Everyone's life is important to me at the end of the day. And I personally know how it feels to not have that help or have people asking you if you're okay. So if I could be that person, it makes my day a little bit better.
Yeah. And if you don't mind, what have been some ways, even besides creating projects and doing art, what have been some ways that have helped you in your journey of mental health?
Definitely getting myself out of my comfort zone. And getting new connections, talking to people. Closed mouths don't get fed.
For sure.
So, yeah, definitely talking to people. Talking to people that I may have not like been comfortable with talking to before. Because like I said, I have really bad anxiety. So going up to a person and like starting a conversation is not always the easiest for me. So definitely helped a lot.
For sure. I love that. And the reason why I ask that is because like a lot of times what you see, people don't really have an outlet. You know, some people, they go play sports, they do what you do, have art. For me, in this case, my podcast or whatever the case may be. So I think it's always important when you can hear somebody young and close to your age that's saying, hey, I struggle with this. I may not struggle with the same personal mental health that you're going through, but I do struggle as well. And this is how I do that, because I'm a firm believer in like our stories can be the solution to somebody's problem. So, you know, appreciate you for sharing that. And so having the career that you have and having the talents that you have, what keeps you going to be able to have the life that you want to live?
The people that I'm around, like on a daily basis, like the support that I get is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very appreciative of that. Also, the money.
For sure. Got to get paid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely gets me going.
For sure. I love to hear that. What is a code or a standard that you live by?
Oh, that's a hard question. Hold on. Don't give up.
Okay. All right. For sure. So before we get into this game, I always am a firm believer of giving people their flowers while they can smell them. So I definitely, appreciate you for coming on to the podcast, but I also appreciate your story that I just learned about today. And the passion that you have for not only creating stuff by way of art or digital media, but also using what you go through and the mental health aspect of it to use your platform to help others. So I want to say thank you again, and I appreciate you. So this part I never tell my guests about. So we're going to play a game that I have here. It's called Let Me Get to Know You. I kind of twisted it towards the end of my last season. So I'm going to let you pick from this box here. I got different categories with me. And so you'll read the category, you'll open up the card and pick whatever option is on the card that you feel like you personally like. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. All these. All right, I'll let you pick.
Okay.
I hope it's the one I really wanted you to pick.
Indoor or outside?
So are you more of an indoor person or outside person?
Oh, outside.
Okay. Why you say that?
Because I'm always on the go. I feel like staying in the house will not get you to where you need to be. Okay. So also like being outside, you meet new people, get better connections. I know social media is a thing, but like seeing people face to face, so much better. For sure.
100% agree with that one.
But I mean, I like being indoors, but I'd rather be outside. Like I'll be indoors in the winter when it's cold outside.
For sure. I'm gonna let you pick another one. I hope you get the one that I really want you to choose. Okay. I took my time with this one.
Okay. Name your favorite memory as a kid. Probably when I went to Puerto Rico with my family. So my mom's family is from Puerto Rico. Okay. I went when I was 6 years old, I believe. So I don't remember everything, but I do definitely remember like certain things. Like it was my great grandma's birthday. I think she turned 95. It was just so different from here. Like the way they live, it was so hot. Just way different than the U.S. and well, I know it's in the U.S. still, but different than Michigan. Got to meet so many family members that I've never met before. Mm-hmm. My godparents are actually from and live in Puerto Rico, so I was able to meet them for the first time. Still don't know how to speak Spanish, but
I'm with you. I'm barely passed, so that's all good. But nah, so basically what you're saying, you've been getting money since a little kid. You said you was going to Puerto Rico. That's crazy. But I'm going to pick it this time. Let me see.
You got to find the one that you want to ask.
Yeah, I got to at this point. Let's see. Is it this one? If it's not this one. No, we already did that one. I'm going to give you this one to read after me. Okay. Because I always like to hear what people think about that one. All right. It says pick one. You pick the one that you like out of all of these. Drumline, You Got Served, Stump the Yard, or Road Bounce.
You said Drumline was the first one?
Yep.
Probably that one. Because don't look at me like that. Only because my dad. Only because my dad. Only because my dad. So that's a movie that me and my dad used to watch when I was younger a lot. Like he loved the drums, but was never able to play them when he was in middle school or high school. And I kind of feel bad because I had told him that when I got to high school, like I'd be in the drum line, but I decided to do other things. But yeah, there's a backstory to why I chose that one.
Yeah, for sure. See, now that you put it like that, I'm like, okay, I can let her slide. I'll probably have to, it'll probably be a tie between You Got Served and Stump the Yard. I actually just watched both of those this past week. So
yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, I'll probably say, if anything, I don't know if You Got Served came out before Drumline, but I feel like You Got Served paved the way for a lot of these, those type of shows. So that's why You Got Served is near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
So let's see the one that you got. I think it says top 5, or which one does it say?
Okay. Pick one: Snowfall, The Shy, or Power. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch any of these.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I can't even choose. I can't even choose.
That's wild.
I've heard about all of them, but I don't know.
Sheesh.
Mainly one and 3. Snowfall and Power I've heard a lot about. But I don't know. Never got to them. My dad watches Power. Or Snow. I don't know. One of the two. He watches one and he always tells me to watch it, but I don't really know. I'm not really into watching TV. I'd be too busy.
I feel that.
So
I definitely without a doubt say Snowfall. I haven't.
Okay.
I've watched Power, but it's too many of them. I can't keep up. But I like how Snowfall was. I didn't like how it ended. I'm still kind of sick about that, but thought it was gonna be a little different. But it's all good. You can't always have what you want. But once again, I want to say thank you for coming on to the podcast. But before we get out of here, I always like to end with a quote. The quote says, "When it's all said and done, when you have said more than you've done, everybody has dreams, everybody has goals, things that they want to do. But will it be all talk, or will you put those ideas to use?" Thank y'all for tuning in once again to the converSAYtion podcast. I'll see y'all same time, same place. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Here you go. Some disappointment I see in the room.